Hi guys, I've literally wanted to make this timeline since the day I got my dreads, so I'm really happy to say that I've made it 2 years with dreadlocks. I wanted to thank Jasmine Cherry because her timeline on YouTube is awesome, and I was like, oh, I want my timeline to be that awesome. So I totally stole your format. Please don't hate me. Yeah, so let's do this. So this is one of many wedding pictures. As you can see, my hair is jet black and it's pretty long. I dyed it black for about 3 years straight. I really like the look of black. But even at this point, I was considering getting dreadlocks, but I decided not to get them because after doing a lot of research, I saw that baby dreadlocks are actually really ugly, and I did not want baby dreadlocks in my wedding pictures. And then one morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? My hair is getting kind of long. I think I'm going to cut it, which was so stupid. I should have just left it long because it would have made longer dreadlocks. But, you learn from your mistakes. And not long after I cut my hair off, I started noticing that the black dye didn't stay in my hair as well anymore. Like all of a sudden, it would fade in a few days. So instead of trying to keep dyeing it, I decided to use this thing that I saw on Pinterest where you mix Head and Shoulder shampoo and vitamin C pills, and then you put it in your hair and you leave it for an hour. And apparently it strips out all the color, and to my surprise, it actually worked. So you can see in this picture that my bangs are kind of brown, close to my natural color, but then the tips are really black because they had been dyed black so many times. So after 2 years of research, I finally decided to get dreadlocks, and as you can see, I decided to do them myself. I don't know what I was thinking with that sectioning, but I mean, I'm so happy that my husband helped me out with the sectioning. Totally not his fault though. I was the one telling him what to do, but my God, look at that sectioning. It's awful. You can see it here, like, oh, some of them are gigantic and then some of them are smaller. I mean, in the end, it kind of balanced out because I combined and separated them, but whew. And the method I decided to use is backcomb crochet. I am a teacher, so I have to keep them somewhat neat, so that's why I chose that method. And then for the next few weeks, I proceeded to take about 1 billion pictures of myself. I was like, ooh, I have dreads, ooh. It feels so good to have them in the first stages. But, as time goes on, you realize, wow, those were not dreads. They didn't feel at all like dreads. But, oh, I felt cool. Oh, look at that. Look at that mess. That was about 2 weeks after. And, oh, they were crazy. But I was really proud and I liked to show them off, I gotta say. This series of pictures was taken at about 3 months, and that hair used to stick out all the time and drove me crazy. So at 3 months, I decided to crochet them again, which was kind of stupid. I should have just let them be, but yeah, nothing bad happened. I think I should have just left them alone. You can really see here how awful my sectioning was. There's this giant dread in the back, and then there's a tiny, tiny one in front of my bangs. It didn't take too long for me to separate that giant one into 3 little ones, and it's so much better now. It actually used to hurt when I slept. It's ridiculous. And then these were at about 3.5 months, as it says in the picture, although sometimes those are wrong. This was at camp. You can see that they're starting-ish to form some loops and stuff. And oh, there you go. There's like a little zigzag in that one. I was pretty pumped. And then this series of pictures was at about 4 months. It's so weird looking back. Like, look how black my dreads used to look. They don't look like that at all anymore. I guess the sun and the shampoo I use faded them. But anyways, oh, look at that sectioning. That sectioning is way more natural. Oh, that's so nice. Yes, that giant one in the back is gone, and the little one in the front is getting a little bigger. And here's an upside down view. Ooh. They're about 5.5 months here, and I was really happy to put some decorations in there. I finally found beads that were big enough to fit that I didn't have to order online, and I put some little string. This was a pretty cool phase because some dreads were completely black and then others were brown and then others were light brown. It had a pretty cool effect. I liked it a lot. If you're watching this timeline because you're considering getting dreadlocks, just keep in mind that they don't really start to look and feel like dreadlocks until like about a year. So, some days it's a little discouraging. They look like garbage like this picture. Granted, it was right after a shower, but still, keep your head up. It's like normal hair, you have good days and you have bad days. Finally, around 9 months, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try a few hairstyles. This is as good as it gets at this point. I tried, but they're at a weird length. Like anytime I try to do some sort of updo, it's right at the base of my neck, so I can't move my head without kind of like hitting my hair. It's really strange. Oh, and did I mention how incredibly messy they get? Look at all that loose hair at the scalp. Totally normal. A lot of people will say just leave it, but I could not handle it. So in the first year, I did about 3 or 4 sessions of full out maintenance. It takes forever to do it on your own hair, but then it doesn't cost any money. And if you do it right, you're not going to damage your hair. So one day around the 10th month mark, I woke up and I was like, you know what? It finally feels like I have actual dreads. And they were looking really gnarly at this point. This is my favorite one. It looks so messed up. I just love it. And just like that, my dreads turned 1 year. And looking back, it flew by really fast. When you're in the midst of it, you're like, oh my God, will my hair even grow an inch in the next 5 years? But looking back, they've really changed. And I could definitely see myself with dreads for the next 10 years, much to my family's dismay, I'm sure. But they're so easy to take care of, and you never shed. I mean, I sweep my floor and there's no hair. Ladies, you can relate, I'm sure. There's no hair in the drains. There's no hair on the floor. It's the best. We took a trip to Manitoulin Island that summer, my favorite place on earth, and you can really see my hair is back to its normal color now. There's no black left anywhere. I considered blunting the tips, but I really like the look of the wispy ends, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Let them do what they want to do at this point. Good old fall in Canada. They're about 1.5 years here, and they just keep getting better every day. They're actually starting to grow now, which is really nice. I was getting kind of bored of the same length, and there's a ring in there that my mom gave me that doesn't fit, so I put it in there. I really like to make buns in my head. It doesn't quite work yet because some of my hair isn't long enough. And there's my puppy. And yeah, that pretty much brings us to 2 years just hanging out by the lake. This is what they look like now. And I'm pretty happy with them. So yeah, there you go. 2 year dreadlock timeline. In your face, those of you who said my hair would never dread because it's so straight. If you're considering getting dreadlocks, feel free to send me a message. I don't know everything, but I know some stuff, and I would be happy to help. See you in a few years when I do a 5 year timeline. Ugh, I can't wait for my hair to be that long. It's gonna be glorious.